You don't know. Bad man. Yeah.
Hello, Team Bella, and welcome back. I'm Miranda, Mrs. Thinking of a Master Plan, and I'm here to plan the very last week of December 2020. So we will be planning in this dashboard layout for December 28th through January the 3rd. But before we jump in, a few reminders. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you show me some love. Give me the thumbs up. Also, I would like to ask you to comment, what is your one word for 2021? Share that with me. And last but not least, if you've not had the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, I would like to extend a warm welcome. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button below. Don't forget about the notification bell. And to my A1s from day one, y'all know y'all are my girls. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me, and I really truly appreciate all of the support. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this was my spread last week after the pen. And if you're new to this channel, I know we have a couple of new people here. I always try to show my after the pen in the beginning of my plan with me. So this was my after the pen. I was all about the first week of winter, and I kind of iced it out with the Cinderella and the accents of silver. I try to always do an affirmation corner. And this week, my affirmation of the week is I'm productive and successful in all areas of life. So even though this was a 3-day week for me, it was a long week. I had those 3 days felt like 3 months. And it was so hard, and I really had to push through, but this affirmation was really effective and impactful. So when I pick an affirmation for the week, I try to think ahead to the things that I'll be going through during the week. That way it makes a difference, and I feel the impact or the strength of the words. So just a little tip there from my affirmation corner. All right, let us go ahead and jump into this week. I have pre-picked my stickers, lay them on this wonderful wax paper, and I used 2 sticker books, and one was this accessory sticker book from one of the very first Year to Shine Be Happy boxes that I purchased. This one. And then of course we have a Year to Shine sticker book. So that's where I pulled these stickers from. I thought the color scheme was giving me life, so I was like, yes, let's pick that. Alrighty, so let's jump in and plan this out. So I hope everyone has had a great and safe week, y'all. It has been chaos in this master plan household. So about 4 o'clock a.m. on Friday morning, my daughter came down, the one that does the missionary work. She's here visiting, and she came down and she said, Mom, the lights in my bathroom are not working. And so we're like, okay. And I'm like, okay, you must have plugged up your space heater, and trying to troubleshoot with her as to why the breaker must have tripped off. So wake up Mr. Master Plan, send him outside to trip the breaker, and then all chaos goes crazy. And it might not have been 4 a.m., more like 6 a.m. in the morning. And so, you're trying to sleep in on your day off, and it's like, I want to sleep in, but I can't because people in my home are uncomfortable. So, you want to make not really guests, because it was all family. And anyway, long story short, we had major electrical issues all day on Friday. And Mr. Master Plan comes from a family of certified electricians, or whatever you call them, licensed electricians. Is that what they're called? Anyway. And so everyone's like troubleshooting, giving us these points. In the meanwhile, on the back of the house, there's 2, I know what they're called now. They're GFI outlets on that back of the house. They're making this loud noise in the neighborhood. They're flashing red like they're angry. and your girl is upset and freaking out. So call the builder. My house isn't brand new anymore, but it was when I got it, and lots of things are still under warranty. And so the builder said, well, just make sure, and they didn't physically say this, so let me clarify that. On the website, it said to, fill out a form, and I don't know if I want to put this on there. Fill out a form, and someone would get back to you on the next business day. At this point, the next business day, I'm figuring it's Monday, it's Friday. But let me clarify. So we went from having to trip the breaker to outlets not working to us not being able to cook. The stove, the light on the stove was on, but the eyes weren't heating up. So, you know me, I always go to the worst case scenario, okay? So my worst case scenario in my head was that, my stove had gone out, my refrigerator had gone out, because it was like literally there were the timers, the clocks were working, but the microwave, like when you turned it on, normally it's like, shh, to heat up your food. And now it was just going shh, shh, like that. And I was like, oh my goodness. So, and the same thing with the stove. The clock was on the stove, but my eyes wouldn't come on. The oven wouldn't come on. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's Christmas Day. Nothing is open. What am I going to do? But thank God my refrigerator, I'm trying to still be positive. My refrigerator is working fine. So the food I bought would be fine. But what are we going to do? Who wants to eat McDonald's or takeout or, whatever. And so as the day proceeds, call my mom. And my mom said, you need to call the power company. I was like, Mom, no, this is us. This is, because it was the circuit breaker box. And, we had received some feedback from some certified electricians that it was probably something with the circuit breaker box. So we're going to go with that because they are the subject matter experts. I'm not a subject matter expert. I barely know how. As long as I turn the light on and I pay the bill, I expect my stuff to work. Y'all feel me? And so that's kind of where we were. Now, I really like this, but this is way, way too thick. I'm going to cut it in half. So I got to figure out how I'm going to cut it in half, and how can I cut it in half without, because I really want that on there. Okay. Anyway, so this is where we're at this point in time. So then I'm like, oh my God, I have a headache. I haven't had no coffee. And we needed one of the breakers in the breaker box. Cousin said that, it was out. So we needed to replace it. He didn't have exactly what we needed, but he could give us a patch. And even though he couldn't come by the house, my husband has a little bit of electrical experience. He could walk him through via FaceTime, how to fix it. At least to get the breaker to stop, because at this point, it just kept, lights were flickering, the breakers kept tripping, that noise outside, and kept going on. And so he was like, we can calm some of that down. I was like, yeah, because it's early, and, I don't want the neighbors to, be disturbed and things like that. So, that's what we did. Well, after that, yeah, he's absolutely right. The workaround and the fix that he gave us did stop it from, it didn't stop all of the Wait a minute. Yes, it did stop the And the breaker stopped. The breaker, well, wait a minute. It did it a couple more times, and then I guess the GFI outlets just like died. They just totally stopped. And so now this time we're nearing to like 8:30 at night. And so in the garage, I had a like freestanding microwave, because the microwave we have is of course over the stove. And so I'm like, okay, cool. We can just use this microwave. I made enough food the night before, and we can kind of just use the microwave and warm that food up. That way we'll have food, we had drinks, and everything's good. But, you know, Mr. Master Plan moping a little bit. I'm the same way. Like, when my stuff does not work, how about don't talk to me? That's just how I am. I like my stuff to work. If something's wrong with my car, I'm going to take it to get it fixed. I'm not driving it around broken down and raggedy. Like, that's just the kind of people we are. And there are people like that in the world. And we are those people. And so he was kind of like dragging around, moping around. And then his cousin, the one from Charleston, calls back and was like, hey, I'm just calling to check back on you guys. And I want to know what happened. What happened? And so my husband tells him the story, like, we're just got to wait until, you know, hopefully Saturday, the manufacturer can get, the builder can get someone to come out here and, you know, pretty much look at the house and whatever and whatnot. And so he was like, okay, well, tell me what happened. And the cousin that lives here in Charlotte, where we are, this is his brother. And so he's like, okay, so, all right, so you did this, you did that. He walked you through that. And this is what he was like. He's like, you know what? It doesn't sound to me. He was like, you're going to have to replace that breaker because of all of it, all the surges that went on. All the surges that went on, then, you know, all the surges that went on, we have to, it's going to have to be replaced. He said, but it really sounds like, and he didn't know what our local electric company, he was like, no, like the electric, like we have Duke Energy. So, you know, it's a Duke Energy issue. It seems like it's something because by this time, the stove didn't work, microwave didn't work, the dryer didn't work. And thank goodness our heat worked, but our heat is gas, and that is like 15 amps, he said. I'm just saying, repeating, because I may sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. I'm just repeating what he told us. He was like, these are so crooked. I'm going to have to bring them up because I don't like how crooked they are. But anyway, he was telling us that, you know, we needed to call the power company and we needed to use this verbiage. So I called the power company. I used the verbiage and they were like, yeah, sounds like it. So here's the process. So at 8:30 or 8:20, I made the call. Now I made the call and he was like, so they're going to send someone out to check the meter to see what's going on, because at the meter it could tell them a lot if there's an issue, if it's an electric company issue, is it our stuff or whatever, yada yada. All right, but that's kind of like if something happened to your car and a lot of people tell you, and you got people that say they have, you know, experience, they're experienced mechanics, and they're telling you stuff is wrong and you take it to the dealership and, you know, that's not what's wrong. So I kind of was expecting that same type of situation. So he was like, if something is wrong, someone will be out. You should be fine back online by, you know, 12:45 a.m. on Saturday morning. Well, the gentleman came around and it was cold, y'all. It was like 20 degrees. And, so the gentleman was like, someone came and checked it, and then the guy's out there and he's fixing everything, and everything is everything, right? Then the power totally goes out. So I was like, oh my goodness, at least we have partial power now. We done called them out, and now we have no power, no heat, no nothing at this point. And so my husband was like, I was like, do not let them leave, you know. And he was like, they're not going to leave here without fixing the power. You know, I'm always on 10. I'm already thinking it's going to be a horrible situation. So that's just what it is. That's just how I am. And so this is what I'm thinking. He's like, okay, you are being like, you need to calm down because you kind of being a little silly at this point in time. And so I'm like, okay, I probably am being just a little bit silly. So I calmed down and I let the man do his job, and then everything was fine. Everything came back on. And so we're thinking, wonderful, everything is fixed. We are good. This is Saturday. I finally got sleep because remember, I need all my stuff fixed. I'm not happy when my stuff is not fixed, and especially stuff is not fixed and I don't know what's wrong. And I think that was the bigger issue, that I really just did not know what was wrong. Y'all, this is really boxy. So I think I'm going to take this off right here, and I may take this one off. So, you know, it was just a fiasco. It was an ordeal, you know, and you don't really expect, you know, when it's like you have a newer car and something mechanically goes wrong with your newer car. You know, my house is still like a new house, you know, a new car. So I don't expect to have like major stuff going on with my house. And, you know, and then when things happen on the holidays, of course, you have to regroup, you know, you just do. And, so that's what happened. That was our day, and it just didn't make for a great day. But we worked through it. I mean, we still had a good time. I mean, and here's the thing, we had internet, and I don't know, but internet is important. When your internet is not working, you feel like, oh my God, if it's down, it's impactful. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get these up. Let's see. Okay, so I will be modifying this spread just a little bit, and just to be totally transparent, like I put down the stickers that I wanted. I didn't lay it on top of the spread before I did. I just put the colors there, kind of the layout that I wanted, but it looks like SpongeBob SquarePants, and I just can't have a SpongeBob SquarePants spread. So yeah, your girl had to bring it up. In terms of us having internet on Friday, even though we had those electrical problems, you don't realize how important internet is. Like, internet is up there with like heat in the winter and air in the summer, for real. Like, I don't know, y'all, but once we brought the hub was my office, all the outlets in my office were working. Thank God, that's where the modem is. And even the microwave, we had to post it up in here. Once I heated up my coffee, I got a little bit calmer, but I'm just going to tell you, your girl is not built for this type of drama and these types of problems, okay? But we made it through. Honestly, I think that the only thing is the guy left some tools in the backyard. So I'll be glad when they come and get that and get us 100% fixed up. But I love how the changes that I made here turned things on the spread totally around for me. And I hope you think so too. But this is the completed spread. I'm happy to say that I am off for the entire week. I go back to work on the 4th of January. I have one meeting at 6:45 on Monday, but other than that, I should not have to really check into work. Probably will have my ears to the street just because I don't want to be caught off guard with anything on the way back. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to do the 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon. Ciao, baby.